podcast that tries to explain fictional worlds using science. I'm Simon.
And I'm Jeff.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Jorf.
And I'm Jorf. So if that stays in, for the listener, there was a typo at work, and I'm Jorf now.
It will. I was just going to leave it completely unexplained.
Okay. Feel free to cut the explanation, I guess.
So let's go back in time, okay?
All right, easy.
You've
explained this before, I think, right?
I think we have. Your 5-year-old Simon, you know? Your dad just got back from Blockbuster.
The mines?
No.
Okay, Blockbuster makes more sense.
But dad's a teacher. So you come back, your dad comes back from Blockbuster, and you're just waiting. You're wondering, what goodies has he brought me from the video game rental at Blockbuster? And you're like, okay, here.
I guess for the listener, Blockbuster is a store that used to exist.
Where you used to be able to rent VHS tapes and DVDs, I think. I think they did make it to DVDs.
Yeah, I think at some point they did make it to DVDs.
And then you also could rent video games. This was a particular note because N64 games were crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And they never got cheaper. Anyway.
Some only got more expensive.
Some, yes.
You and your brother,
yes.
Well aware, I'm sure.
Oh my god. Conker's Bad Fur Day and Mario Tennis are so expensive. Anyway, so you're sitting there and you got 3 games. You got Superman 64 because, my god, this time you're going to figure out how to play that game.
Yep.
You got Vigilante 8 and you're like, I know the cheat codes. I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get all those characters.
Already speedrun
this game. Haven't entered my speedruns for it yet, though. And then you're like, oh, and of course, the original Super Smash Brothers. And you know who you never play in that game?
Most of the characters, if you're me.
Well, yeah, I actually forgot who I was talking to. For a second there.
That guy who's bad at Smash. I actually won a Ghost Ladder last Wednesday.
Yeah, you're not bad at Smash. I think you just have
I'm certainly not good at it.
You have no ability to you have no social ability in video games, I feel like. You're really good at games that are like Dark Souls, but very bad at games that are like
I would like to say I'm good at games like Dark Souls. I'm good at games like Stellaris.
Oh yeah,
Crusader Kings.
You're good at games that just take time, that just take lots and lots of time.
Yeah, that's the one.
That just take the fact that you're not doing anything else this weekend, so why not play 16 hours of a game?
Right, of one game and almost get through one session.
There you go. Anyway.
Yep.
The correct answer is Kirby. Kirby is,
of course,
the worst character in at least the original Mario Smash Bros. I mean, I actually don't know what his tier listing is because I don't follow tiers. I'm not Wes. But
yeah.
I will say this is that only you would know a kid was annoying in the early 2000s and the 90s if he played Kirby as his main character in Mario Smash Brothers.
What, because they were just trolling you with their pick?
Yeah, not because they were trolling you, but they were they thought he was because he could fly and things like that. People thought he was cool. Kirby has never been cool.
Well,
that's not true.
Yeah, I feel like in every game but that, Kirby's pretty cool.
I agree. Okay, I think Kirby in his main games is the coolest, okay? He's like the Dalai Lama if the Dalai Lama was a violent pink sphere.
That tracks, yeah.
But I gotta say, yeah, in every Super Smash Brothers, he is so lackluster. He's so boring. Nobody likes him, but we have to explain him.
Of course. That's just logic.
So, for people who don't know, out of our listener base, Kirby is he's a Nintendo franchise character. He's a pink sphere with stubby little arms and red shoes for feet.
So not really a sphere, but you're close.
Oh, his body's spherical.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess he's not technically a sphere.
Yeah, I'm just being pedantic, I guess, but that's kind of the whole point. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And so what his superpower is, he opens up his big old maw, his big old gobstopper, and he just sucks in, and he'll suck in enemies and either just eat them, or he will steal their power.
Right.
And be able to transform himself. That's pretty much it. I mean, like, that is
Kirby
in a nutshell.
that's about it. Yeah.
He's got a bunch of different games. It's a children's game. It's for children. So kind of where should we start? Should we start with his ability to just create an enormous vacuum?
That's probably the best place to start, because everything else is going to kind of spawn off of that being able to work.
Yeah. So, I mean, like...
So, creates an enormous vacuum.
Also, the issue I see is that when he sucks in, he doesn't get physically larger. You know what I'm saying? So...
Self-contained black hole. The pink sphere is just the event horizon. And he directs it as he opens his mouth.
But then how could he spit enemies back out of him? That's the problem with a black hole. Kidneys.
Didn't think it through that far. That's the problem.
That's the one problem with that. So, I mean, so there's got to be some kind of like, is he like a gas compressor, or maybe a matter compressor? That's what I'm thinking. Like, but like maybe he like stores the air within himself, but I guess he doesn't release the air anywhere, does he?
I mean, he like spits enemies back out as stars, I guess, more often than not, and can fly. So,
but like he can,
but not like Sorry, I keep immediately cutting you
fine.
off. Now you know what it's like. So it's not as he is taking in air; it's not venting out anywhere. Is the point, kind of.
So this is what I'm thinking. Like the most basic Kirby move, like you just push B, and he just opens that big old maw, and just starts sucking in air.
Right.
And then when he stops sucking air, he doesn't need to really blow his air back out. It's a weird phrase.
And here we are.
But here we are. Yeah. So like, how do you? So this is what I mean. Just do we know if Kirby defecates?
I don't think they go that far into it in the lore.
I guess also, are we assuming that he is naked? Because we would assume if he defecates, we would see some sort of port or hole to defecate out of. Or his mouth. I mean, it's like...
Could just be the mouth, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Have you already cracked Kirby?
I haven't, but I've got something that may help us later on. Kirby is just the ultimate form of efficiency. This is why he's a sphere, because that's the highest volume to surface ratio, right? So he can maintain heat, he can maintain homeostasis very easily,
right?
As well as he's only got one hole, a mouth, but his mouth is probably also where he defecates from, urinates from. You know, we've never seen him reproduce. It could also be that. You gotta
make the assumption.
Yeah. I mean, if he's a living creature, he needs the ability to reproduce. He might reproduce by cell division, by meiosis.
That is true, actually. Yeah.
But I mean,
it's not as fun.
Or maybe you know what? Maybe he doesn't even like, you know those little, are they krill? What are the little
like the little thing that whales eat?
Yeah, but like what are the little like air or water filtration creatures? Like the ones that like suck in a lot of water and then just like excrete it out and like filter it and grab all the minerals from it.
Whales?
No, whales eat krill. But you know what I'm saying?
Like the flavor of organism that does that, there are probably a few.
Yeah, but not only flavor, but there are organisms that do that.
Yes.
That's not the reach I'm making.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm saying is maybe Kirby doesn't need to eat physical matter. Maybe he gets all of his nutrients from the air.
Doesn't Kirby like sweets though?
I mean,
or pastries, baked goods.
But that doesn't mean he needs them for nutrition.
Oh, he just likes the taste, right?
Yeah, so maybe he just has the ability, like identification. Like our version of touch is Kirby's version of taste. Like he's like a dragonfly.
Okay.
And so maybe he like that's his body. That's one of the reasons why he's spherical, is because he takes in air through his mouth and then he slowly excretes it through his marshmallow skin, and it gets filtered out, and he can like absorb like CO2 and things like that, or things from at least his normal planet.
Okay, I can see that then. That makes more sense.
Yeah, and so that's why he's able to breathe in and not store anything, because it's being slowly released. It's just that it's being released in every direction through such a much larger area that the membrane of his skin kind of, and it slows it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that does make sense.
That's some crazy.
Somehow we've managed to do that on this show.
Okay, so now what do we think he's doing when he like consumes matter?
Yeah, that is kind of the thing then. Like, unless it is just entirely dissolved and, like, you know, taken up by the body, it, like, that matter would have to go somewhere, right?
Yeah. And not only does it have to go somewhere, but it also has to, like, why would he have it? Why would, if he can sustain himself, if he's a breatharian, why does he have a mouth that can consume food? Why does he not just have like a blowhole?
I mean, it might be less that it's a mouth that can consume food, as much as it is a hole that matter can fall into.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. See, but that's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm trying to think, like, evolutionarily. Do you think he was like? Is it vestigial, or is it, you know?
I don't even know if it's vestigial. It might just be it is a big hole that can take in a lot of air to then process, you know, particulate in the air, whatever little bits of, you know, organic matter he gets, and it just like also is a big hole that other living things can fall into.
Okay.
Like, it's just is a byproduct. It just happens to also do that.
You know what? I kind of like that, because it also explains why he likes sweets so much. Is that I mean, if you think about it, like our ability to taste is like our ability to identify our food. So if we were tasting at the concentrations that are existing in gases, like something that was like a solid would taste like unbelievably overpowering to us. So maybe that's why to him it's like this like way crazy, like he just drank stevia extract and he's just like chugging it real hard.
Right. And he just is very addicted to sugar.
Yeah. like the taste of sugar, yeah. Because like you would think about it, like he probably has the same like endorphin receptors in his brain that humans do when they get nutrition, as like a evolutionary response to be like, yeah, you should be eating. Eating is good. Eating keeps you alive. So when he eats something that's like such a high concentration that it's the difference between a solid and a gas, his brain is like dumping endorphins, and it's like, dude, this is the best air you've ever breathed in. And it's
this weird people-shaped air is just great.
Yeah.
Really lean into this one, Kirby.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. I like the fact that it's just there. It just is what it is. He just happens to have a hole in the front of his face.
Right.
So here's a question. In several of Kirby's games, he can swallow. He can swallow. He doesn't have to spit it out. So where does the food go, do we think?
So is this like food? Like, how big is this? Is this the enemies that he faces that he can also do this to?
Yeah, I think it's.
Are we just limiting it to actual food?
I think it's also enemies that he can do it to. Because that you got to think that
Okay.
that's how he does the copying ability. Is he swallows?
Right.
I mean,
So
not
I
in Smash
wonder
Bros,
if
but
they
in other
might
games.
tie in together then.
What do you mean?
If the process of
You're welcome, listener,
like-
for this clean audio. Sorry, I'm sorry.
it's not gonna get edited anyway. I don't know why I try to help. I won't verify that. I won't listen to the middle of this episode.
You'll listen to just enough to write the blurb, and then you'll be like, "Yeah, it's fine."
I will click through 3 times. Yep, that's the topic, and that's the topic, and we're done. I don't always do that.
I go through so much work, Jeff.
And the listeners appreciate it. I see all their feedback.
All their feedback. Anyway,
Yeah.
what are you gonna say?
I have no idea. The process of, like, it's not that Kirby is eating or digesting the food. I guess this kind of walks back the other explanation, but in order to, like, take the power of something else, he has to, I don't know, take it in and then force filter it through the skin
Oh,
super fast somehow.
oh. Okay, I was thinking of a similar thing. I was not thinking of something as horrifying
Violent as mine.
as crushing some sort of physical being through
Right.
your very fine membrane skin.
Right.
So what I was thinking is maybe Kirby has the ability to like gasify or burn, like combust the enemies that he breathes in. So they turn to gas. So he kind of has like a slow burning stomach that just kind of like because you can't get that much organic material from just regular air. So there is he has the ability to filter air like that, but he also has the ability to kind of absorb solid into his like somewhere in his body. I don't know if he has a stomach or not. I don't know what it would be. But then it either dissolves and becomes a gas, or it is combusted and becomes a gas, and then he filters out that gas.
I can see that as an option. Yeah.
I mean, very
And then
similar
that's
thing.
Yeah, and that kind of plays into when Kirby spits out an enemy after eating them, and they're like a star or something. It's not necessarily that it was turned into a star, more so that it is censored because it is a like partially burned, combusted corpse of the enemy that you just consumed.
Husk of a monster. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is a children's game. I do not like going to the censoring option.
Fair.
So if I'm fine with it if we can't like come up with a better solution. But I cannot come up with a better solution. I guess maybe. So how about this? How about this? Maybe the star is like the reason it looks like a star. It's not actually a star. Is because it's just like this. It's a liquid. It's like this highly compressed liquid. Now that doesn't work.
Okay.
I was thinking like,
Or that is just the shape of the organ that the matter gets compressed into.
yeah, or that's his excrement. So that's everything that's non-combustible.
Okay. Yeah. That
Yeah,
works.
so that's like
that works way better than censorship.
Yeah, like that's like the inorganics. Originally, I was thinking like what's that like ferromagnetic liquid? You know what I'm talking about?
I think I've mostly. Yeah, I do. I think I mostly hear it referred to as just that, though.
I like and like you know how like that's what I was thinking of, like a liquid that like can hold its shape, but I don't know why there would be a magnetic field, or why any other liquid would have that property.
Right.
But I do like the idea. So maybe the reason it's a star shaped is because it's jagged. It's a lot of things like salt. It's a lot of things like metal. It's kind of lost a lot of the plasticky smoothness of organic matter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's more crystalline. All right, look at that. So now we got on to probably the hardest thing. Got to get that clean audio. Oh yeah. Uh, the copy ability.
Yeah, that one, I was hoping we would stumble across an explanation, but that was a little more difficult to hit, wasn't it?
It was. So I had an idea early on, but I like your idea, or the ideas have come more, that his ability to suck in was like a defense mechanism. But you've heard me ramble on about the fact that it's possible to have a race that can what is it? Not accumulate, not assimilate other races into its being.
Right. It's mostly what you talk about.
It's mostly what I mean. It's like maybe it's like 75-25 of of like it's races that can assimilate. Sorry, I lied. It's 75-25. Oh, sorry, 75-25. 75% of it is just races that can assimilate others. 20% libertarian garbage, and then 5% of like Superman is an invasive species. It's totally possible to have a species of creature that has evolved to live in space, and maybe like 0.1% of that is like, Jeff, how you doing? How's your life? How's your family?
Forced small talk I don't actually listen to, right?
I don't like the assimilation aspect of it. I don't, okay, so here's what it seems like. It seems like in a lot of cases, it's mostly a cosmetic change. So let's just assume that there's a creature that is made of like hydrocarbons that just burns constantly.
Okay.
And let's assume Kirby eats it. So maybe what he's excreting is those hydrocarbons and they're burning, and he can now spit fireballs.
Okay. And that also, like, does he separately then take whatever hat that creature was wearing? Because you said it's mostly a cosmetic change, but the like cosmetic it is change, in that it's like, Kirby just puts on the hat of whatever they ate.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like maybe Kirby is not so much like breathing them in, but mugging these creatures and stealing their clothes.
And is wearing them as a grim trophy.
Yes, exactly. As a grim warning to all other creatures in Dreamland. I will kill and eat you and wear your skin. Wow, I mean, Kirby's very dark.
Yeah, no, it took a real weird turn. But that then kind of shifts the focus of not that it's Kirby taking their power so much as like all the enemies' powers are coming from, something that they're wearing.
So
like whatever fire crown or what have you they wear.
I believe this is legitimate, and here is why. In the Kirby games, of which I have played one,
it's Kirby's epic yarn, and it doesn't help explain things.
Sorry, I've played 2. I forgot about Kirby's the yarn game, which is actually the game that I thought of, and I was like, is Kirby really not that cool in every game? And then I was like, oh no, Epic Yarn is a great game. That's like an actually fantastic game.
No, I went back and I was playing some of the older games on the Switch, and they're not bad.
No. Oh, no. Like, actually, the Wii U was a great console. It's just that nobody wanted to buy it.
Well, because nobody knew that it was a separate console.
Yeah, that's...
Except, like, you and Eli and Nintendo.
Yeah, the only people who we've ever known to own a Wii U. And to be honest, I mean, like, we pretty much just own it for Breath of the Wild.
For that one party game?
Oh, also the party games. Party games in the Wii U.
That's pretty great, actually.
They are way better than the Switch party games. I don't think anything will ever beat the Mario Chase game. So good. Anyway, back to Kirby.
Yeah, right? That's a topic we were talking about a little bit ago.
So in the game that I remember, I've only ever played Crystal Chronicles. Crystal Chronicles, that's not the one. Crystal Shards.
Yep, that sounds more right. Crystal Chronicles is a game you need to speedrun. Also, apparently.
I am Oh, that's going to be so tough to speedrun Crystal Chronicles. It would be hilarious too. It would be so much fun too. But it would be like a 24-hour commitment. No, so I've only ever played Crystal Shards. And it's like fire enemies give you the fire ability. Sharp enemies give you the sharp ability. Spiky enemies give you the spiky ability. So what I'm saying is that maybe it's those non-digestible things, the things that Kirby doesn't have interest in. That's what becomes his superpower. Okay. So like maybe he like digests something that's very spiky, and now he can like do spiky things because his body's full of spiky material.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Like maybe he's eating volatile enemies. And so part of what he's excreting is this volatile matter, and so he's just able to light it on fire and use it as an attack.
Okay.
Yeah. Just as a side note, do we think that Kirby is sentient?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we do. We think that he is like a god of destruction, but do you think that he is just like like so totally unempathetic to the world that he just slaughters whole civilizations and just has a smile on his face? Because he's never not smiling except when he's sleeping or when he's crying.
Or is just a child and doesn't have like a sense of empathy.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, like he is like this like age like this race of creature that just lives forever before they reproduce. So there's very few of them. But this is why we haven't seen that many other Kirbys.
Right.
But and they remain childlike for very long because like if you live for 5,000 years
for eons. Yeah.
Your first like 100 are going to be you being like I am a 5-year-old. I have the ability to wipe out entire races because I am nearly invincible.
Right.
So I think he's mostly this like expandable. Oops! I just hit my pop filter.
Pop filter that you're so proud about. Yeah, all that clean audio gives you.
I was waving my arms around. Yeah, I don't think he. I don't think he has organs. I think he is almost entirely that membrane on the outside, and then like
it'd have to be that like sensory organs. You just keep poking it, don't you?
I do. It's really.
You have to sit on your hands like I do, so I stop fidgeting with things on my desk.
It's so difficult.
That's the trick. But yeah, no, I think it would just be like a nervous system, sensory organs.
And then like the membrane.
Yeah, and that would be it.
And then his what are they called? In like humans, it's like the pleural, the space between that connects the lungs to the chest cavity. So when the chest expands, the lungs expand with it. Yeah, and like that's it, and like that's all he is. He's really very limited. He's pretty much just like the most base form of life. Like all he could do is consume
and have a good time.
Like he has like lizard brain. He knows
an aspiration to us all.
He has a lizard brain. All he knows is that he can consume food and he can sleep. And he never feels in danger because he's pretty much invincible.
Right.
Because he's pretty much just a flexible ball. Like he's a kickball. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe for the next couple of minutes we should go over some of the other Kirby characters because we seem to have figured out what Kirby is.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less. Yeah.
Mostly more, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, like this is definitely we actually have this character kind of nailed down. I mean, like obviously his rock star ability where he screams into a mic is just because he's stolen somebody's microphone. Like that one's easy, but we have everyone's favorite character, and I would like to say my third best character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. King Dedede, which should let you guys all know how good I am at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, do we think that he is an actual penguin?
Well, let's, for the listener, because I definitely remember King Dedede myself, explain him, describe them.
Okay, so.
For the listener.
Of course. So King Dedede is
Right.
he's kind of like if King Solomon was a penguin, a fat penguin with an enormous hammer, and a penchant for corruption. That's, I guess, the best way I have of
That's
describing
it,
King
huh?
Dedede. Yeah, yeah. He's a king. He's the rival of Kirby. Kirby is this kind of chaotic, neutral abomination who just kind
Right.
of wanders through the world, slaughtering indiscriminately. King Dedede, however, is pretty clearly a very he's a corrupt king. Is how I've always seen him. I actually don't know if he's corrupt or not, but he's just a big old penguin-looking creature with a big old hammer, and he's supposedly Kirby's arch rival, but they're kind of friends.
Well, yeah, that's just the normal arch rival sort of
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, Edison Tesla kind of thing.
Right.
Cain and Abel, two other arch rivals.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, they just
Salt and pepper.
they work well together, but they're also opposites, like ginger and jasmine. That's what it is.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So what power suite does King Dedede have? Does he also consume?
He does. He can't copy, though. He just has the sucking ability. Oh, wait. Here's one thing that we have not at all answered about Kirby.
Okay,
How does he
let's
fly?
Backpedal a bit. How does he fly?
Yeah.
Farts.
Okay. That's done with.
Just takes in a bunch of air. Well, I guess we did explain it that he only has the one primary hole, though.
But he's a membrane. So all he does is he just pushes air out of the bottom of himself.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So farts.
Yeah, so it's
Got
farts. But it's more like poops, but for him. Because his poop is air. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway. King Dedede has the ability to suck. He has the same, fly ability. But he is a penguin. So he's also he's a big fat penguin. So he's very strong. As, fat penguins are. And
So, do you think King
Yes.
Dedede is just an adult of whatever Kirby is?
oh my god, yes, I do.
All right.
I know, I love that. I like the idea that the Kirby race metamorphosize. So, they grow a body, but their body is still fairly cylindrical. Or they grow a head, I guess I should say. Their body is still fairly cylindrical, and their face just migrates upwards and then grow a beak.
Is within the realm of possibility.
I agree. I think it's very possible. Is King Dedede, and this adds a whole new depth to the games. Is King Dedede Kirby's father?
Kirby's dad.
Yeah. Because think about it, we haven't actually met any other Kirby race as we have really known.
I want to say, sure, why not?
Because how great.
That's why they have kind of that friendly relationship, but they're still kind of butt heads.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah, because Kirby's this 5-year-old who's throwing tantrums, and Dedede's just I'm just gonna hit you with my hammer, okay?
Yeah, like a normal adult parent father.
Hey man, don't judge other planets' cultures, man. You don't know what they're about. We have not seen Kirby die once. We have seen him take a lot of damage. He has still not died.
That's true.
So I'm sure a hammer to him feels like nothing. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that probably fits if they're otherwise, invincible, just because there isn't much to them to destroy. Then, a giant hammer is just letting you know that, your dad's there.
Yeah. It's I think in their culture it's a loving thing. It's you see your father as this
As a lover,
Yeah,
teacher,
yeah,
bludgeon.
yeah. A lover, teacher, bludgeon. Exactly. That's how I see my own father.
Right.
As a 6'2" bearded tool to hit things with.
That tracks, as far as I'm aware.
So, Meta Knight.
Right.
What do we think he is? Do we think he is a Kirby creature?
Let's run down Meta Knight right quick.
Right quick. I keep on forgetting that not everybody knows the Kirby.
Yeah, no, for the listeners.
Yeah, exactly. So, Meta Knight is... He is a knight. He shares Kirby's body type, which is to say a sphere with 2 arms.
Which is to say
feet.
round.
Yeah, he's very round. But instead, he has a cape that's kind of like a Batman cape that allows him to fly, and he has a metal mask on his face. So it's unclear if Meta Knight is a race or like a not a race but like a occupation, or if Meta Knight is a person, because there are several Meta Knights. Like it's not like its own thing, but it could just be that it's just an occupation.
Right. Yeah, if there are several Meta Knights, then it definitely leans more towards being like a profession.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Do we think that the weird thing is that in the fiction we've created so far,
right,
the older version of Kirby's turned to penguin-like creatures.
Right.
So this would imply that Meta Knight is like a child soldier.
Yes. That is true.
Are we comfortable in saying that?
I don't think it would be the first time we've said it, actually.
I agree. But I have a solution to this that I think is historically accurate and ingenious.
Is that they are, in fact, child soldiers.
Is that they are, in fact, because child soldiers are a thing that exists, and this is a world that would possibly have them. No. So, in one of the greatest Chinese admirals was a eunuch. And in fact, in many cultures, not in many cultures, but in some cultures, eunuchs were seen as very valuable because they were kind of removed from the
they couldn't
the temptation.
Create bastard children with your daughter. Yes.
That too, but they could. I don't know if I should be bleeping that out.
No, I think that's the proper definition of it.
Oh, maybe. I think yeah, okay. Anyway, they were seen as avoiding temptation. So they were valuable.
Right.
As workers. I'm wondering if in the Kirby culture, to become a Meta Knight, you have to kind of essentially be what their version of castrated is, which is to remove their ability to become an adult as a as a Dedede.
Right.
And instead, so they're not child soldiers. Instead, they're just creatures that have been honed.
Eternal soldiers living at that
small efficient
point.
level. Yeah.
Right.
Not as fat penguins. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. As they age, they, develop more empathy and complex sort of
emotions
and can make the decision to pupate, metamorphize.
Yeah.
Or to not do that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or not so much that I feel like they're kind of drawn towards it, as they pupate, they gain more sentience. So then what the Dedede culture has done is stop that, essentially chemically castrate these Meta Knights, and now they're forced.
Maybe they're their own caste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was
So this
thinking.
brings us right back around to child soldiers, though, is the problem.
I mean, they're not child soldiers. They are of an age where they can kill things. However, I guess they do have the we did just set it out so that they do have the mentality and the intelligence and the awareness of children. So they're probably not much better than child soldiers. And I don't know why I try to avoid that. I really just kind of made it more plausible.
Yeah, no, you kind of did. That's kind of a natural conclusion, I think.
There is. Actually, in the last few minutes, there is one thing that I would like to address that I forgot about until just now.
Okay.
In the games, okay?
Right.
Kirby can turn to a rock without absorbing a different rock. How does Kirby do this? Like, how does Kirby... Is that... Oh my gosh. Are Kirby's naturally, like, very, very heavy, but most of them are filled with, like... They're filled with air? So while all he does is turn to a rock...
so they're just, like, expelling...
all of his air.
Okay.
It just comes very dense and hits the ground very hard. Because he's got all that inorganic material in his belly.
Yeah, and it just is sitting there. That makes sense. And there's just this, like, that core amount of inorganic material that they can't expel.
Yeah. Or that they just haven't expelled yet. They haven't spit at somebody.
Right.
I mean, that's a great ability. It's just like, they're pretty much camels. I mean, whatever this strange species is. I can't actually think of anything else that we haven't really answered. We've really kind of...
Yeah, no, with my in-depth knowledge of the series, I think we covered about everything.
I know you do love those Kirby games. You run up to me and you're like, Simon.
I speedrunned another game. It only took me 17 hours this time, Simon.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
speedrun this children's game.
Good job, Jeff. You got it. You speedran in 17 hours.
Good job, Jorf.
Good job, Jorf. It's such a, like...
It's real good.
I mean, I guess R is right next to E. It's not that bad, but...
No, like, it makes sense. Like, it's also right above the F.
Oh, so it was Georf.
Georf, yeah. So, yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, in several different ways. And is the best typo.
Here's something I don't know about you. Is your actual name Jeffrey?
No.
It is Jeff.
It is just Jeff.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering. I don't think I've ever asked you that. Maybe I have.
I think my apartment, like, assumes my name is Jeffrey. So, I don't know if technically I legally lease this apartment.
Because it's leased to someone named Jeffrey. I mean, knowing your apartment complex, it's quite possible that you may not actually own your apartment because no one does. It's just a condemned building. That's not true. You don't live in that bad of a place. You live in a nice place.
It's a decent place.
I shouldn't be ragging on it.
It has some weird issues.
I mean, at least it wasn't, water heater on the outside in upstate New York.
Yeah, that was weird.
I would have to spend my lunch breaks going home to make sure that I hadn't busted any pipes open. God, that was annoying.
That was definitely a choice that they made, I guess.
It was a very conscious choice. Where they were like, oh, this uninsulated room off on the side of the building? No, water heater.
Perfect.
That's exactly what we needed.
It's keeping the water hot anyway.
But that broke like 3 times in one winter. Anyway.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It was stupid. Thanks for listening, listener. You're our favorite.
It was good having you here.
Yeah. This is if you like this episode, you should like and subscribe to us and rate us on iTunes and leave a comment on iTunes or on any podcasting app except for Podbean because we don't like them.
Except for Podbean, apparently. But everywhere else you can find us.
I've stopped using them because they don't host us, and so screw them. It's the answer.
That's a fair reason, I think.
I agree. They're not helping
brand loyalty.
To my own brand, yes.
Yeah.
If anyone should have brand loyalty to me, it's me. And that is my positivity statement of the day. If that's like me, like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I got brand loyalty to the Simon brand. 24/7 doing Simon stuff.
I'm just trying to work out the implications of that, and there's not a small amount of them.
Of the implications that I am totally bought and sold by the Simon brand.
Yes.
I mean, the cool thing is that the Simon brand is whatever I want the Simon brand to be. Oh, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the problem, though.
Are you saying that I am not worthy of my own admiration?
I'm not the one who said it, Simon. You can make assumptions.
That's hurtful, Jeff. I think I am. Admiration is a strong word. Tolerance is the word I would use. I would say I am definitely capable of tolerating myself for short periods of time. Definitely.
I mean, that's the dream.
I mean, that is
we all wish to be able to tolerate ourselves for short periods of time.
Exactly. I mean,
maybe one day I'll get there too.
One time,
who knows?
My girlfriend was really annoyed with me, and she was like, "Boy, you just do not shut up, do you?" And I was like, "You think it's bad dating me? Imagine being in my head.
You have to live in your head the whole time,
all the time.
Just think about the thoughts that you don't actually vocalize.
Exactly. It's just never ending. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Subscribe. Go to our website, Pedantic Handwavium, and give us show suggestions.
That's it, man. We've already done a lot of show suggestions. The last one we did was Witcher. That was a show suggestion. Animorphs was a suggestion. Power Rangers, Doctor Who, something. I'm sure there was one other, but I can't remember what it was. So
yeah, there's been a bunch of them.
Yeah, and a lot of them were from people we just happen to know. So, except for Tommy Sparks, who's the man. I hope you still listen, Tommy Sparks. If you do, send us more suggestions because Power Rangers was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. You may have not enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed trolling through looking at the names of stuff, if nothing else.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's it.
We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter at Handwavium.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Joe Sopchak for our theme music. Right around the corner is, or right around the corner I say, but we are planning on doing kind of like a short D&D session. So keep your eyes out for that. And also, my mom, who is a doctor of nursing, which doesn't make her a doctor, but she is a nurse practitioner, and she does have a PhD, and listens to our show and wants to be on an episode. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so she wants to do pharmacology of fantasy worlds.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so look out for that episode. It'll be fun. You'll actually maybe learn something instead of
instead of being forced to listen to us the entire time.
Exactly. That you have done. You forced yourself to listen to us. And you know what? That is what being a good podcaster is all about.
Really buying into the Simon brand and tolerating listening to him for about an hour.
Oh my god, it's so true. I have to listen to myself so much, it's horrible. Now you know how it feels! Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. It really does mean a lot. We're coming around on our year. It's like 2 months, isn't it?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like this show. I enjoy doing it. I had to explain it to someone today, and they were from Palestine, and they were like, I don't understand what this is. What's a podcast? I was like, right. This is going to be a very difficult thing to explain.
Download it on their phone. Subscribe.
Yeah, it's like a radio show. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye-bye. We love you.
Yeah. Goodbye. We love you. Have a good night.